are not manufacturers, actually. Mainly Wessex Community Assets. They are a community housing group, and they are quite keen to explore the use of digital tools and manufacturing to grow local skills and build houses which are better for them, which is quite a nice principle, but it's actually quite difficult because construction prices have gone up, and also their end users are usually communities that are maybe not so familiar with digital tools or manufacturing. So it's a quite interesting space to work on from a diversity and inclusion perspective. I'll talk about it in a second. And they team up with other arts and civic organizations like the Bridport Town Council and assemble under an organization called Raise the Roof, with whom we've been working with. So the issue we're dealing with in our project is this. You might have seen things like housing production or, digitally fabricated housing, wiki houses and so on, which are a little bit problematic for a couple of reasons. So it's true they are more efficient. However, importing these production processes and producing buildings this way is fairly detached from whenever you do the building, right? You don't deal with local materials, you don't really leverage your local skills and local jobs. If you have people without the skills, you have to bring people in. And also, digital tools, if you don't have a critical mass of users that might be familiar with them, they're quite detached from the process of actually design, production, and assembly of those houses. So although this is done under an efficiency narrative, it's a fairly economic efficiency narrative, and it doesn't mean necessarily you're going to end up with better houses that better meet the needs of those communities. So what we've been up to is not necessarily developing new tech. We have been really looking into how manufacturing technologies land in this context of practice. And Wessex Community Assets has a quite nice framework around the delivery of digital skills academy for carpentry and working with local timber. We have been working quite closely with them. And what they do is particularly focus with fabrication and digital design in the context of training programs to deliver housing which are both environmentally friendly and also designed by and with the community. So this is fairly about the extensions of how manufacturing can drive community engagement and the social space in which manufacturing sits in the context of built environment. Of course, the material approach we have used is through prototyping, designing a lot of things, touching a lot of things, working with the communities on the co-design of objects and artifacts and prototypes and material systems. We have a quite a wide array of models and prototypes as part of this project, and that's a lot of Alex time sitting in the lab cutting stuff for months. Then part of the innovation behind some of this has to do with not only looking to the integration of digitally fabricated systems with, let's call it, traditional ways of building, but also it has to do with a broader conversation around not necessarily intellectual property, but how users co-design with us digitally fabricated elements. So it's a quite nice, interesting collaborative space, and clearly there are gaps in that space that do not really help us address housing production the way we would like to. A core element of this prototyping process has been not only physical prototyping and making, and I'm going to address materials in a bit, but also looking into design, production, and assembly mechanisms as part of that housing delivery framework. How can we train people? How can we start looking into things like housing assembly, construction from a more, user-friendly, participatory, open way? So we've been experimenting a lot with flat pack techniques, paneling techniques, designing panels. We have some panels which are like our design, but most of the work is actually made with local communities in Plymouth and Dorset. This is an example, a workshop with a local group of students in Bridport, where we work with a company called Automated Architecture based in Bristol and London on assembly mechanisms of digitally manufactured building components, and they have a quite interesting methodology called We Can Make, based on prototyping and modeling to create little chunks of buildings, basically. And we did work with them for a few days in Bridport, really looking into how these systems can enable kind of a methodology for community participation that involves manufactured building elements. So it's a lot of talking to everyone. And this is the material bit. in our project. Bridport has a lot of farms around them. A lot of them are transitioning to different crops because of Brexit and a few other things. They happen to have a lot of ash, and if you are not aware, ash is dying in the UK. They have a huge fungal infection called dieback, which is killing 80% of our forest. So we're going to have a lot of ash, basically. But said that, of course, this is not a standardized material like plywood or any other material we would typically use for manufacturing. It has, we had this presentation yesterday about our colleagues in Wales looking into defects. In nature, that's just like nature, right? It's like timber has knots and fungus and things, and that's fine. We're okay with that. But that means that we have had to produce a lot of underlying production data to look into how to actually manufacture and use this really confusing, awful, sometimes hard, bendy, warped material within a manufacturing process. So there's a lot of underlying data that informs the production of our building elements. And on top of that, we want to look into how this plays into the local supply chain. So we have tried to stay local, and actually all of our materials come from the vicinity of our project, and we are actually looking to, well, we're actually working with local sawmills and local secondary processing people in Devon and Somerset, Dorset, to deliver a project, including consultancy from timber strategies, processing in Dartington, and some of our timber that comes from a sawmill near Bridport. So we're keeping a quite tight supply chain, looking into this, again, social and environmental aspects of value and how manufacturing lands in that space. As part of that work, that's the work that Alex has been doing relentlessly, you know, particularly around designing, prototyping, and testing, really, what manufacturing technologies can do for us in this really weird, unique kind of ecological production space, if you wish. We have produced a series of like building elements, solutions, joinery solutions, really trying to look at things like bending, warping, knots is a quite interesting manufacturing space where you have a non-standard material that where every element in your stock is just different all the time. It's a quite fun methodology, somehow. And we have been actually looking with, we're also working with local farmers, dealing with things like hemp, which they have lots in Bridport, to look into other elements of housing production that don't fall within what I would call a manufacturing or a digital manufacturing processing, things like insulation, hemp, lime mixes, and stuff like that. So at the moment, what we're doing is that we got, because we're working with the local community around Bridport, we got like a farm. We didn't get a farm, we're working with a farmer, and he gave us a barn. So now as part of this project, we're setting up like a little housing prototyping lab. It's a massive barn that is empty, and we're building tiny houses and building elements and producing things and assembling them in this barn with locals of the, with members of the kind of local community around Bridport. That includes our little contribution to a first kind of tiny house project. And this is a bit of a framework that we're going to use to test future developments in this project, because this is not one project, it's part of like a longer journey, and they have received funding from various other sources. Part of our upcoming work is to work with Built in Common, which is a framework in the UK to provide end users and community groups with the skills and the contacts in industry to deliver environmentally friendly houses. They use a lot of this material. A lot of this actually imported from places like Austria, for example, so it looks more efficient, but the carbon footprint on transport is just like awful. So we're working with a company called Mass Bespoke on this and how to translate some of these findings into maybe producing some more environmentally friendly building elements for their work. And you will see some more details of our work, hopefully, in the Handbook of Automated Futures that will be edited this year. We might have a chapter over there. We already submitted also our next bid to the Forestry Commission. And in order to bridge that kind of skills gap that we identified there, we got some funding from OFS to look into short course provision around digital fabrication and generative design in our labs as well. So it became a bigger thing. But that's it for me. Thank you.